Hey everybody, welcome to another Just a Tip Tuesday. It's been a little while. I've been out protesting, fighting the patriarchy and racism at the same time. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes, jam out. Hey, where's everybody checking in from today? For those of you who are new, welcome. Recently, I've had quite a few people kind of join this, unapologetic sexologist party. And I'm super grateful for all of you who have joined the party, who have become a part of the unapologetic sexologist crew. Hello, Atlanta. Where else are we got people coming in from? Let's see who else. B Rule, I see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to kind of Oakland in the house. I love that. This is going to kind of be a reintroduction to who I am, what it is I do, because I do have people who have just started following me, and I'm super grateful for that. Los Angeles, I love California. Florida's here, so that's super awesome. I want to let you know I'm always open for questions. And, I really like to get to the nitty gritty, the unapologetic conversations that need to take place around some of the issues that we have. Florida's in the house. DC, baby. I love to see that. So over the last 3 weeks, we have seen constant protests happening across the country, across the world. In response to George Floyd's death. All right. Now, I'm going to say some things during this live that some people might not agree with. And guess what? You are entitled to your opinion. I really respect that. You can have that. And if you get mad, well, be mad. Because I'm a motherfucking mad Black woman right now. In the light of what we have seen in response to George Floyd, we saw, 50 states, 18 countries protested. We took to the streets for these protests. And, I'm down. I'm ready to march. I'm ready to fight. If you don't know me, and you don't know anything about me, I have dedicated my entire life to social justice. Now, granted, I am the unapologetic sexologist, which means I primarily look at social justice through the lens of reproductive justice. If you do not know or have never heard the term reproductive justice, Sister Song coined the phrase in 1994. Go check out sistersong.org. What it states is that everybody has the right to maintain bodily autonomy, to decide when to have a child, when not to have a child, and a safe and sustainable environment to raise the children we have. Well, we do not have that right now if police brutality and excessive force continue to kill young Black men in the streets. Okay, well, now we have to take some responsibility, and we have to acknowledge that we do not have that if Black women are killed in the streets, not only by police, but by our own people. Oh no, did she say that? You damn Skippy, I said it. What we have to remember is that Black women experience domestic violence at a rate that is 35% higher than their white counterparts. Now, listen. I ain't got no time for someone to be like, but right now we in the streets fighting for the Black man. Well, I'll say it again. Black women cannot continue to take a knee for Black men if y'all motherfuckers keep killing us. And I don't just mean killing us in the space of intimate partner violence. I also mean I need Black men to start standing up for maternal mortality issues. I got to be honest, I marched miles and miles and miles and created a protest diary that you can check out on BET.com or BET's YouTube channel called Protest Diaries. And oftentimes what I found was we were say his name, George Floyd, no justice, no peace. Well, where the fuck was this energy when the science came out that Black women are dying at rates 3 times higher than their white counterparts in regards to maternal mortality. Where is that same energy for a Breonna Taylor? Where is that energy for a Tatiana? I think that, I feel like as a Black woman, and I'm a Black woman who's been through some shit. So please don't try to come at me like, what do you know about it? You're not the type people are oppressing. And Organize X, you're absolutely right. There are toxic women out there. I am tired of Black women being an afterthought. I am tired of Black LGBTQ folk being an afterthought. And no, not all Black men are bad. No, you're not. You're not bad. You're not bad. And I think that we have to remember that a part of how men look at women is connected to, hey, Jojo, is connected to how we teach gender norms. All right. Gender is a social construct. What men and what women are supposed to do, that is a social construct. And it is created by the patriarchy to oppress people. Patriarchy is rooted in white supremacy. Keep up with me, people. So long story short, when we think about how we're teaching things like sex ed, which in a lot of schools is not a thing, it inhibits us from really understanding how everything is connected. And yes, we all need healing. But if we do not teach people how to heal, we will never get to a resolve. What's up, Jamie? Also, sidebar, Jamie P. Sullivan is doing this incredible podcast called Tell Me What to Do. It debuts the 24th. Please make sure you go and subscribe, as I am her first guest. Thank you very much, Jamie. And issues of sexuality, right? I'm going to, go back to that. Oftentimes people don't understand when I say from the womb to the tomb, baby, sexuality is a part of your everyday life. Well, it is. It impacts everything we do. And oftentimes we are not aware of its implications, how we dress, how we speak, how we shake hands. I love telling stories, so I'm going to tell this story. Oftentimes when I go to a happy hour, I go to a social place, people will, small talk. What do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a sexologist. And from some Black men, I just want to be very clear about the spaces I hear this from, because I hear it more in communities of color than in other communities. But Black men will say to me, how many dicks did you have to suck to get that job? How many men did you have to fuck? Is that a real job? That's not a real job. Well, let me tell you something. It is not that I just look at the genital act of sex. My work is primarily rooted in the intersections between race and sexuality. So as a queer Black woman, I cannot get rid of my Blackness. I cannot get rid of my womanness. I cannot get rid of my queerness. So that it's all together. So it's interesting because men will say that. I don't know if they're like flirting with me. They think that's going to get them an in. Anyway, I usually laugh it off. Thick skin, 7 years around a pole will do that to you. And I kind of chuckle. And then a few drinks in, as I explain to them what I do, all of a sudden, after they've had some drinks, they want to disclose they've experienced sexual assault. Now, while I was in grad school, I worked as a bartender. It's amazing that liquid courage. People will just blah, 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 blah. And people oftentimes like to talk to their bartenders about like what they've experienced. So men would tell me about their experience with sexual assault as children and then say things like, oh, I've never told anybody that. And let me tell you something. First and foremost, to anybody who has experienced sexual assault, I am sorry that happened to you. It is not your fault. And I deeply understand that violation personally. And it breaks my heart. So I really became someone, as I started doing this work, that wanted to focus on cisgendered, heteronormative Black men. I center a lot of my work there because I want Black men to become womanists. I like sometimes using the word feminist, but that has a little bit of a problematic history. So being a feminist is not to say you want to, demasculinize men. It just means equal, right? So that being said, as much as we care about the experience of Black, well, not just Black, all women, trans, non-gender, or gender non-binary, whatever the case may be, that have experienced some type of sexual assault, we should be creating these same spaces for Black, cis, heteronormative men. And earlier, Organized X mentioned that there are toxic women out there. Absolutely. Because more times than not, when these men disclose their experience with sexual assault, it is not by another man, it is by a woman. So I want to be very clear that this goes both ways, and perpetrators can be men and they can be women. And I think that there is a stigma, Alexandria, attached to this idea of what it is to be a real man and not being able to disclose or talk about their experiences with assault. And I am on a quest to create a safe space for Black men to be able to talk about that. I've said to people many times, how, if we continue in the Black community to marginalize Black men's experience with sexual assault by saying, oh no, you didn't get raped, you became a man, a real man. No. If we do not allow them that space to heal, how then can we expect pain on someone else?